Welcome to Chef Alli's Farm Fresh Kitchen. It's time to gather around the table to cook and converse. Right here, we'll come together to learn about Kansas agriculture and the farm families that feed us as we discover new recipes, Kansas products, and farm fresh ingredients.
Good Thursday morning to you. Welcome back to 13 News. This morning we're once again with Chef Alli and Farm Fresh Kitchen cooking with beef today. Yes. Alli, let's talk a little bit about the misconception with farmers. I think when we all think of farmers, especially if you're not from rural areas, you think that farmers are these huge fields full of cows and corn and crops, and that's not really the case, right?
No, and along with that, people think it's big business. If you're a farmer and you happen to be incorporated, typically you've just done that to protect your family and to protect your farm, because you would know, since your dad raises cattle, that as a farmer or producer, whatever you want to call it, a grower, you have to wear a lot of different hats. The first one being a good businessman, and so of course you're going to incorporate your farm if you want to protect it. Not everyone does that, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you're all about big business. The second misconception that, as I work for Kansas Farm Bureau, I'm out there talking to people about cooking, but also about agriculture, where food comes from. But there seems to be a lot of worry about how do farmers treat their livestock. I've seen pictures on your Facebook page of Blake right out there with your dad's cows. We can walk amongst our herd. We do everything that we can to try to keep everything low stress. And I can tell you, my husband is thinking about cows more than he's thinking about Chef Alli most of the time. He's always worried about them, their welfare, and so they're very well taken care of. They're part of the family.
Because if they're well taken care of, then we have better food to feed us.
Absolutely. You're going to have a better product. And so beef is something that people love to give and get for Christmas. It's really nice to go and buy steaks for somebody. You could give it to them in a cast iron skillet as a kind of a little way to wrap that up. And today we are actually making chili Frito pie.
Yes.
And I was super excited. I thought of you.
Yeah, I'm so happy you did.
Because I actually made right here in this food processor is homemade red chili.
It smells amazing.
Awesome. How did you make that? I mean, you actually went out and got the dried chilies and everything.
I did.
Yeah.
These bad boys right here. And look, you cut them open. I don't know if you guys can see this or not out there. Those are all the seeds. That's where all the heat is. So you get rid of that.
Okay.
And then you put these in a pot and you boil them down. Then you put them in your food processor, process them with all these wonderful spices, add some chipotle, this and that, and that's your red chili sauce. You're going to use that kind of as a tomato sauce. You probably eat a lot of it. I know at Christmas time, it's kind of fun to have tamales. Did you guys ever make tamales?
Yes, we did. Oh my gosh.
That's another thing that's very delicious, but also kind of labor intensive.
Very much.
The chili Frito pie, outside of that, is not labor intensive. If you don't want to make your own red chili, you can use tomato sauce, no big deal. So we cooked it up here in our cast iron skillet. And then, of course, right here, Miss Sarah, if you want to dip some of that up, I've already got your Fritos in there.
Of course, would love
I'll let
to.
you make that.
Kansas products, possibly made right here in Topeka.
Nice hearty
Kansas
beef
beef.
there.
That's right.
Well, I'm talking about the Fritos too.
Let me get a little bit
you're
more here.
right. Yes, thank you.
Hey, we're just
Absolutely.
supporting the cause
What
all
was
around.
I thinking when I wasn't thinking? Yeah. And then we have pico de gallo, which I'm going to ask you guys a question. Do you know what that term actually means? I did not.
I do.
You?
But
No,
you
go.
I want
Impress
to
us all, Sarah. Impress us all.
I mean, it has to do with the rooster. It has. I mean, it's really weird. Like the beak.
The beak.
Yeah.
Very good.
It's so weird.
Yeah, because they say they used to eat it with their fingers like this, and it resembles a beak. So I think that's interesting. Yeah, it's a Spanish term, and so it's very beautiful. Cilantro, red onions, super fresh. You and I were already smelling it.
We love
and
the
then, of course,
cilantro.
some cheese and some sour cream, and you're good
Voila.
to go.
Okay, real quick, we've got to talk about why it's a good reason to go to your Facebook
It
page.
is always,
it's always
a good
reason.
Yeah, there's something special there. You're going to have to answer a question, but be aware after you've watched this segment, you will know the answer. So just comment on Chef Alli's Facebook page, and you will be pleased.
Very nice.
Yeah.
All right.
The recipes are at Chef Alli's Farm Fresh Kitchen.
Very nice. Thanks,
Thank
Alli.
you guys.
so much.
Merry Christmas too.
Time to
Merry
eat.
Christmas to you too.
Get some of that pico de gallo going anyway. We'll be right
And
back.
thank a farmer.
Thanks for joining us. Kansas Farm Bureau is proud to support hardworking families across the state, like farmers and ranchers who make it their life commitment to provide food that nourishes all of us. Kansas Farm Bureau, representing grassroots agriculture.